Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
Band from Ringside. Tonight on the Band from Ringside podcast, Anthony Ogogo makes his big return. We have Mariah May versus Anna Jay. Some chinks in the armor between Hook and Jericho. That's and a whole bunch more tonight on the Band from Ringside podcast.
You ain't shit. Talk about burying the fucking lead. Good
I've been
Lord.
thinking about that for a while. Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Marks, and welcome to the Band from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Tyler Bait and Switch. And sitting directly across from me, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
Adrenaline in my soul. Every beefer out of control. Do it all to get them on their feet. And on that lovely note, I'll ask the congregation to bow their heads as I read from the latest edition of the Band from Ringside podcast, volume 354, chapter 3, verse 14. And the good smart saith, hashtag boo the heels. It's all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat, the holy trinity of BFR. I, unlike my cohort over here, won't bury the lead. That's why we sung Cody Rhodes, but we're going to talk about that here in a little bit.
Obviously, we're talking about WrestleMania this week. And out there in Portland, Oregon, we have Two Beers, Zach Coleman. What's going on, Two Beers, Zach?
BFR Westinghouse.
Just out here putting the meat in middle school track meet. No, that's where I'm at. Just watching my son throw some discus and some shot put. And, yeah, that's why I'm out of breath. A lot of walking around going on.
He's blown up like Heyman during his Hall of Fame speech.
100%. I am 100% blown up. I'm like Stone Cold when he comes to the ring and puts his arms up and can't do anything else.
So I was having a little bit of fun there in the intro. Obviously, we have so much to talk about this week. We have 4 pay-per-views that we predicted last week. We didn't even do the predictions for Sakura Genesis. That also happened. WrestleMania was it was a jam-packed weekend full of wrestling, and then AEW manages to grab some headlines right, on the day before our podcast. So
thanks, Tony.
With the footage from AEW All In. So there is tons of stuff to get to, and I'm not going to beat around the bush too much. So let's stop fucking around. Let's get to that 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
JCB, hit me.
Fuck it. Let's just start with WrestleMania. We can get to Stand and Deliver, squeeze that Joker in at some point. It's our show. We got plenty of time. Obviously, 2-night event at Philadelphia. The Link holding it down for Saturday and Sunday. Let's just start it off on Saturday night. The curtain jerker, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. Apparently, Becky Lynch sick leading up to this event, and depending on where you read it, if you read it, who you believe, Rhea Ripley having a bit of a panic attack before the event started. So that was a little bit of a precursor coming into the match itself. This was good, not great.
Her and probably 30% of the roster. I mean, it's fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, look, I ain't mad at nobody. Good. By no means am I going to sit up here and say that nobody should have the jitters. I mean, unless you're, I don't know. Even Stone Cold, I would think, would have jitters at this point. It's just the biggest stage.
Those are just the DTs.
We just say you better get rid of that
really
shit.
Good.
You better
really
do
good.
that shit before you come out there. Neither here nor there. I totally agree with you, 3 Beer. It's a major stage. It's their biggest stage, and there should be nerves involved. That means you actually give a shit. So nevertheless, I thought this match was good. You can kind of see it was off to a slow start, but once the match started to get going, it was as good as I thought it was going to get. I thought the right woman went over. There was nothing for Becky to gain at this point. Rhea Ripley is going to be one of the cornerstones, if you will, of the Triple H regime. I thought that was the hammering point. I don't care. Cody Rhodes winning the title, yeah, okay. The biggest talking point for me coming out of those 2 nights is this is the Triple H era. And from this point on...
I mean, not to mention Raw and the Hall of Fame. Like, Paul Heyman put over Paul Levesque about as big as he can. But, yeah, we can get to that later.
From this point on, all decisions, all creative, anything we want to criticize or give flowers to has to go to
It
Triple
was
H.
definitely $1 billion publicly traded company that was making a statement like, "Hey, man, Vince is gone. He's out of the signature at the beginning of the show. He wasn't mentioned during, he wasn't mentioned during the entire broadcast. Nor did I just watched the Paul Heyman speech, so it's fresh in my mind. But to have him not mentioned in that too is, it's telling. But
No, it says
how it should be. But I mean,
it says
makes
they
so much
should be
sense.
cutting ties at this point.
But yeah, I was way into this match. I thought it was a great curtain jerker. Probably not what I would have chosen. I'm on the record as saying it should have been Jimmy and Jay. And after we saw what happened there, I'm glad that it wasn't. But I was a. We'll get to that too. But
that curtain remained unjerked.
What do you think about this match, Zach?
I thought it was a solid match, solid opener. I think both of those women are probably capable of more, and I think maybe it's just because Rhea Charlotte was stole the show WrestleMania last year, so I thought maybe this would be a little bit more of kind of a classic. But it was still a really good match, and definitely not gonna talk shit about it. But it was it set the tone. On paper, this card for night one looked phenomenal, and then it just kind of wasn't. And this kind of set the tone. It's kind of a little microcosm of the rest of the evening outside of one match.
I want to piggyback on what Three Beer just said.
I'm just nodding.
Oh, okay.
Vigorously.
I just want to piggyback on what Three Beer just said about Becky, Rhea versus Rhea Charlotte. I didn't have expectations of this Rhea Becky being as good as Rhea Charlotte. Rhea Charlotte to me was one of those WWE women's matches that come along very rarely, where you get two women pretty much in their prime, pretty much styles can mesh together, and you just ring the bell and just let them do their work. Well, Becky, I didn't think was, at least, just didn't feel like it would be as good as Charlotte. That's just me.
Also out of those three, Charlotte's the best worker. So I mean, if you take her out of the equation, I didn't either. It was as good as I expected it to be, and it was no less. And I had middle to high expectations for it.
I agree with Three Beer on the fact that I think they could have done more, but walking into the match, neither one was at 100%.
Triple H has a decision to make coming up in the near future, though, because when are you going to turn Ripley babyface proper? Because she is getting babyface reactions now, and she is nominally a heel, and that's just going to be a decision that's going to have to make, and he's going to have, and I'm genuinely curious to see how he does it creatively, because let's face it, I mean, the guy is shooting threes, and the fucking and the basket is as big as a fucking trampoline, man. He is really firing on all cylinders. And I don't want to jump the gun, but I mean, it's tough to not bring up this is what we were waiting for when everybody used to fantasy book forever. What's it going to look like when Vince is not in the chair anymore? And we got our answer, and it's better than we could have imagined. I am so.
It looks fucking great.
Yeah, I know. I know I say this every week, and I've just been gushing over it. But some of the decisions that were made, night two especially at WrestleMania, are just they were what I wanted, but not what I expected. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So anyway,
I think it really just goes to show. I don't think. I mean, I'll give Triple H his flowers, and a lot of the other people that are doing work there, in production and stuff, their flowers. But I think it goes to show just how much Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn were holding the product back versus how evolutionary these new guys are. I just think that they were stifling the progress so much.
Yeah, they were so bad at what they were doing.
Yeah,
they were just fucking awful.
It's currently really good, but they were really bad.
Right. They had a custom made fucking Italian $500,000 sports car, and they got it, and it was an automatic.
And they were taking it just up the road to the 7-Eleven.
Right. Yes. They were never opening it up. That's yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was next?
Ferris Bueller is just in my mind when you guys talk about that. That's opening the car up. Ladder match was next. Obviously, the twist on the ladder match was...
I mean, if it's Ferris Bueller, then fucking Vince is Cameron just kicking that thing while they're trying to take the mileage off.
Put it in reverse.
It eventually went out the garage.
That motherfucker fell out that motherfucker garage. I was like, oh, shit. Cameron's dead.
When Vincent was in Egypt land,
He's heating up.
let my Vincent go.
Fuck Mello. Zach, don't miss. God damn.
Nobody under the age of 35 has any fucking idea what we're talking about.
And I love it. I don't give a fuck. Look that shit up. Google it. Ladder match was next. The swerve to the ladder match was they were going to now unify the titles. So you will now have a Raw champion and a SmackDown champion. The first pull down was by Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in about 7 minutes. Kind of on the fast side, a little surprised with that. But as the ladder match went along, I'm kind of glad that it went that way because obviously there were some faulty ladders. The spot with Damian Priest trying to choke slam Miz off the ladder when they were both not even able to be used at this point was probably one of the low points of the match, but they did it right. On the flip side of it, Awesome Truth wins the Raw side of the tag team titles. So now we are having two separate champions, SmackDown side, Theory and Grayson Waller. On the Raw side, Awesome Truth. For me, I don't have a problem with this. It was probably time to break the titles up anyway. The Bloodline storyline feels like it's at least slowing down for a little bit. Obviously, we will talk about that at a later point. But at this point right now, this feels like a good time to break up the titles.
Zach?
I think this is one thing. I mean, the match was fine. There's some genuinely, scary shit. And it was a totally fine, spot fest, I think you said it, Bill, perfect for placing the card. I do think that it does highlight just how little they really give a shit about tag team wrestling, and I think that is something that has not changed since the Vince regime. I mean, I don't give a shit about Awesome Truth. Yeah, it's fine. You pop the fans, whatever. But I'm not interested in them being tag team champions, seeing them defend championships on television. And same with A-Town Down Under. It's cool. Yeah, those are some young guys. But they're both already kind of getting pushes just by being the smarmy jobbers that people love to watch get beat up. I don't really need to see them as champions. That doesn't anger me in a way that it gives me heat. It just makes the tag team division boring on both sides to me. And I feel like they had a lot of opportunity to at least make some fire wrestling matches happen. That's my only problem with it. But if they don't care, I don't care.
Yeah, I'll disagree with you on the A-Town Down Under thing. When they first of all, it was an odd booking decision. Reba, shut up. It was an odd decision. I thought it was an odd decision to have the SmackDown belts pulled down first and then still have 10 minutes left to match. It was different. I think the A-Town Down Under can actually. I won't say they can elevate the belts. They can't elevate the belts.
Yeah,
but they can.
Let's not get crazy now.
They can be fun. I look forward to seeing them as the cocky heel champions that are, the chicken shit heels. I am completely fine with that part. But
I'd almost rather have Pretty Deadly in that mix if it was me. Maybe I just don't like Austin Theory that much, and it's I'm being biased. But if I was gonna do that, I'd do it with Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, I mean, no,
100%. 100%.
I wouldn't be able to argue with that at all. But I'm with you 100% on Awesome Truth. It's fine to have them pop the crowd, and
that's what this match was. Ultimately, it was just give Truth his flowers, pop the crowd, and let's move along.
It's nice to see our Truth get a big win on the WrestleMania
a legitimate
stage.
Title.
Yeah.
That 24/7 title, God bless him. He made it good in certain spots, but just overall, just a waste of fucking time and TV money. And as TK told Will Ospreay, TV money is expensive.
Grayson Waller is a very entertaining watch, though, and so I'm a fan of Grayson Waller.
I agree.
Been a fan of his since the old NXT 2.0 days. So yeah, I'm happy for him too. So the match was fine.
Yeah, it was what it was. I didn't expect much more.
After DIY didn't win, I was like, of course, DIY
didn't win. I'm like, God damn it!
Really
this is that bullshit.
Sticking with my heart there.
Maybe that's why I'm salty too. I was like, man, here's a perfect opportunity to talk about WrestleMania moment for some veterans, like, and some guys that can fucking work and benefit. Like, have those guys like, as champions where they can like really benefit from being in the ring with younger guys. I think they're perfect champions. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, what was next?
Dom and Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio and Andrade. Andrade taking the place of Dragon Lee after Dragon Lee gets assaulted on SmackDown the week before. Carlito, I thought was at least in my head, was the obvious choice. And when he got passed over in my head, I was thinking, okay, if this is giving me a swerve, this is the swerve. It's set up perfectly for it. Carlito can easily interfere in this match. You can have Dom, Carlito, and Santos in a loose little faction. Not sure at this point. I wasn't sure the future of Judgment Day, so I was thinking maybe this is a spinoff on another heel faction. Not so much. Rey Mysterio and Andrade win. This match was what it was. A little sloppy at points. I don't think that this really. It was, like I said, to me, this was a chance to, if you wanted to flip Carlito heel, this was the time to do it, and you had every reason in the world to do it. I can see why people flip on Rey Mysterio, doing people dirty that's close to him. This was what it was. It was kind of a party match because you got the ladies involved and all that other good stuff. But at the end of the day, I just think this was an opportunity missed to do something creative on night one, and it kind of kept the trend going with matches that were good but not so good in spots, decent matches, good matches, nothing that was a real WrestleMania match outside of the curtain jerker. Three Beer, go ahead.
Yeah, this was kind of really like the third feel-good match in a row. Because even though Rhea's a heel, the crowd was totally behind her.
Oh, yeah.
So, I kind of expected heels to win, and there's to be some shenanigans, going on. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, yeah, you got Rey Mysterio pinning somebody at WrestleMania. That's cool. He's for the kids. He always gets like, I forget what the tie-in was, but he always gets some kind of like cereal or some shit. So, like there's always a commercial with him. Like last year it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This year it was something else.
Rey Mysterio had a cereal commercial? I totally missed that shit.
His matches are always sponsored by somebody. Like,
okay,
it's for the kid. His matches are for the kids. So I guess I should have thought, they're gonna have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy out there or something, and then like they were gonna, Rey Mysterio's gonna win at WrestleMania. Basically, I should have known, but oh well.
No, I don't think you're too far fucking off. I mean, Dom coming in against Ray from last year, it was like I said, now I'm thinking about it, another perfect opportunity for a receipt. You could have had the heels go over, Carlito helped them out and everybody walks away. But knowing what I know now, probably not the way to go. But, I'm with you. I didn't really, if anything, I wanted to see Ray Dom too. This was just to get guys on the card. Fair enough. Andrade's on the card. That's cool. Maybe something that happened down the line.
As soon as Jason Kelsey took off that mask and it was Jason Kelsey, I was like, of course it's fucking Jason Kelsey.
It's like, son of a bitch.
Christ.
Here we go. What else? Let's get this shit over with. But then that's a Vince WrestleMania kind of deal.
I get it. It's so they show him on SportsCenter that night.
Yeah,
I
fine,
completely
whatever.
get it.
Yeah,
it's just lame for us.
Totally. And like I said, for me, now I'm getting the feeling while I'm watching, I'm just like, okay, Jimmy and Jay are coming up next. Perfect opportunity. Let's get this Joker back on track. We're going to have not a banger match, but, something to get me back invested into it. Watch the vignette. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? A year in the making. This shit was 11 goddamn minutes. How you going to do a year in the making match and have 11 minutes for it. This was bland as fuck. You could have did this shit on Raw or SmackDown or whatever.
It was a SmackDown match.
I don't give a fuck what this was. This wasn't a PLE match, I'll tell you this much.
I'll tell you what it was. A piece of shit. This match fucking sucked.
Dude, it was so bad. Go ahead, 3 Beer.
It was objectively a bad match.
It was
it wasn't even necessarily the length, even though you're right, it's like getting short shrift, but it was just bad. It never had any heat. It was just super kicks, trading super kicks, and it was just frankly just boring to watch.
No chemistry.
Zero. And you had all this build, and this is the result.
They're twins.
Dude, you've been talking about this forever.
Yeah, I know.
And this is what you roll out? This is ridiculous. If it wasn't for my just general disdain for all things Final Testament and the Pride, this was the worst match on the 2 nights of WrestleMania. And I don't even think it's close.
I mean, that's even including Authors of Pain.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the less I don't have anything else to say about Jay and Jimmy. I just thought it sucked. Jimmy tried to trick him. Jay didn't fall for it. Jay went over. I picked Jimmy like an idiot.
I picked Final Testament like an idiot.
Yeah, you knew you were an idiot when you did that. It's like,
I was drunk. I got that's my built-in excuse.
Oh, you were?
You knew what you were walking into.
I don't have much else to say about this.
3 Beer, anything?
I laughed so hard last week whenever Bill showed back up. I was like, "What'd you say?" He's like, "I went talked to Aaron, took a piss." And like, you asked me a question right as he sat back down. That made me laugh so much because you never would have known.
I mean, I didn't want to mention it, but the timing on it was so perfect that it seems strange to experience by myself.
Absolutely. Have to share that.
I'm glad he shared it with me at the WrestleMania party because I obviously was at home.
I mean, it was perfect, and I would love to go back and time it. Like, it was probably 4 minutes of me talking. I don't even think that's an exaggeration.
Probably ain't. The sad part about it, it's probably true. Next up, the 6-woman tag, Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. Squash. That's my word for this match. It was not anything what I thought it would be close to being. It just felt like Damage Control was just out there to catch that work. And God bless them, that's what they did. This was one-sided at best. Totally taking me out of at least by this point, now I'm just like, okay, this is WrestleMania. Now I'm starting to get pissed because now I'm like 2 hours deep. And
they
I'm just
really
like,
needed
whoa.
that Jimmy and Jay match to be good because then you could have had 2 kind of stinkers on either side of it. But when you throw that one in the middle of the Lucha, the Latino World Order match, and then with the Powerbuff Girls or whatever we're calling them, it's like you needed that Jay and Jimmy match to be good. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it was totally fine. It was just a showcase for Jade Cargill. That's all it was. And the other gals were there to like protect her, and so that she didn't have to do all that much. And she looked really good. And that's just what it was.
Are we worried about Jade Cargill getting booked the same way in AEW that she is in WWE? Just
like super strong.
I mean, yeah,
or like
just super strong.
I mean, I'm not worried about it. I say this in all sincerity. I have complete faith in Triple H right now. Like, even if he veers off with something that I might not be that cool with, like, he's not going to drive this train off the tracks. Like, he really brought this WrestleMania home. I know that I sound just over the moon about it, but how can you be anything else?
I can't have much of an argument on this one, especially after the way I felt at night 1, and we talked about it before night 2 even started. And you asked me point blank, and I was just kind of like, meh. It fell flat. Obviously we're going to get to the meat and potatoes here in a little bit. That kind of, I think, saves night 1 from really just being just a shit show. But
on paper, Jay and Jimmy should have been good.
Yeah.
Really, that let the whole fucking show down.
It really did. It's like a difference between like a letter grade for the show. Really.
I couldn't agree more. It was right there in the middle where, like Bill said, if you didn't like the either or match on the bookends, this was the meat in that sandwich, and the meat was spoiled. And now you got a problem, okay? Because now you've gone to the next match, which now
and it's
obviously
just 3 matches in a row. They're just kind of like whatever.
Okay, this is the match that could have been the lock of the week if you wanted to go that route. You knew what was going to happen. It was just how we were going to get from point A to point B. We got there. God bless Jade. She's going to be a monster superstar once they figure out, who her first real quote-unquote feud is. We'll get there, I'm sure, at some point. Next up, for the Intercontinental Championship, this is where I was like, okay, now this should get back on track, and it gets back on track. Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the IC title. At this point, I thought it was the match of the night, and that's not saying much because the bar was pretty set low for everybody else ahead of it. But this was another great just story from start to finish, from Chad Gable and KO in the back all the way to the final, the brain buster that I've never seen used before, but apparently, El Generico uses this, and when he did it, I was like, I didn't think it was a botch, but I was like, holy fucking shit, I literally popped out of my chair. I was like, God damn, what the fuck is this? And then that was literally the turning point to take Sami Zayn home to win the Intercontinental Championship. I've been on record as saying Chad Gable should have beaten Gunther. I don't necessarily backtrack on that. I still kind of wish that would happen, but Sami Zayn makes a lot more sense, especially looking long term. Sami Zayn is probably going to be a world heavyweight champion somewhere down the line under this Triple H regime.
Got to be.
So if in this scenario, you're going to build him up as an Intercontinental champion first, have him be the workhorse Intercontinental champion that we all know and love, just basically taking the Gunther, foundation and running with it.
He's about to have a bunch of good programs.
So like I said, ultimately, I'm not worried about it. Chad Gable's going to be obviously in that mix, whatever it is, next week. That's a la Rocky 3. So, a lot of this was, really good storytelling. If you follow Rocky, you could get the Rocky reference.
A lot of Rocky talk at Joey's this year.
So in this scenario, it really just kind of wrapped this thing in a nice little bow. Sami Zayn, the ultimate underdog, and I think he takes the Bryan Danielson mantle away from Daniel Bryan in this case, and now he's the new ultimate underdog under the Triple H regime. So, a lot of really good things were done, and I thought this was, like I said, the match of the night up to this point.
What do you think of the match, Zach?
Total WrestleMania classic. Gunther is like one of the WWE's preeminent big match wrestlers. He delivers on a big stage, and it's going to be phenomenal whenever he's doing that for much more than just the Intercontinental title, because he's just pretty much anywhere he goes, he's that guy. And, this is just classic big guy, little guy. You got the best underdog baby face probably that I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't grow up with Ricky Steamboat. He was already kind of old whenever I started watching wrestling. Sami Zayn's just it. And Gunther's just that big monster. I thought this match was perfect. 5 stars.
Yeah, this match was violent. These guys beat the shit out of each other. Sammy was laying it in pretty good, too, on Gunther. And some of those power bombs, Jesus Christ. 5 stars. I'd like to go back and watch it again. I have to say that I was, the entrance and everything was pretty cool, seeing KO before kissing his wife and his kid. It's like, okay. But they introduced the wife, and the wife they showed her over and over and over again. She got more screen time. I'm a journalist, so you can fact check this.
Uh-oh.
She got more screen time during that match than Taylor Swift did the entire Super Bowl. Somebody please check that for me.
Yeah, right? This motherfucker didn't fact check shit.
They just kept showing her. I was like, I don't know this woman's name. I'm glad that Sami Zayn brought his wife, but, why do they keep showing her? They showed her over and over again.
Kind of a callback. They did it in Montreal.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that.
They did? They showed her that much?
I think.
Yep, she was ringside and she was crying, and it was like a whole thing.
I'll tell you what,
Mocking
seeing her sitting in the second row at the Hall of Fame thing with all these fucking freaks around her, I was like, she looks like she would rather be at a coffee house. Like, this chick does not want to be there.
Sorry, babe. We're in the second row.
It's just.
She's like, I just got a new Lethal Lobe acoustic album that I really want to listen to in the bathtub.
Right, with some hot tea.
Sometimes I say, God damn it, I gotta go to this thing again. Yeah, babe, we're in the second row too.
I mean, she just looks like she's a good-looking woman, but she's just a regular person sitting there amongst, freaks.
Yeah, I was about to say the WWE talent.
She's at the carnival, and she somehow showed up to the fucking meeting.
I'm still a little short. Oh, you can get on this ride. Don't worry about it.
Unbelievable. But yeah, this match ruled.
No, it was really, really good. It was a nice way to get back on track to set us up for the main event of night one, Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. We all know the steps, so no need to talk about that. I thought it was really, really good. Not the better match, I still think, was Sammy and Gunther, but this could be 1A, 2, whatever you want to call it. It was basically a Bloodline prelude to what could happen for night 2 in the main event. Rock basically checks the ref, shuts him down, and it basically becomes a no-hold-barred match. At one point, I remember the ref going over. I think Cody took the low blow. No, Seth took the low blow, and the ref goes over to Cody. He's like, hey, man, sorry, I can't do shit about it. Boss is getting ready to fire me. The spear, I thought, was one of the telling points, because I thought that could have opened the door to possibly the babyfaces winning. Obviously, that didn't happen. Rock pinning Cody. Bookmark it. It's going to obviously come back to play somewhere down the line. Just, it's a matter of when and where. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Zach, you go ahead and go first.
So I was totally here for this, because the first part of WrestleMania night one was kind of a bummer. Then Sammy Gunther happened, and I was like, all right, we're back in the money here, and then we're there for the spectacle. You got 16 minutes of entrances, which I loved every minute of. I was so into it, didn't care. And the match, a lot of people said too long. It was 44 minutes or whatever. It was a WrestleMania main event, second longest in history. But it was well paced, because you had The Rock, who had not had a match in over 10 years, and that brother did not get blown up, and that was or hurt, and that was what I was most worried about, because he was the wild card here, and he showed up and he delivered. Character work was just off the chain. The match itself had a fun psychology to it, even though it was just real heel shit, not House of Torture, but Bloodline Rules, where The Rock just bosses the ref around. I thought that was pretty neat, definitely interesting, and those guys put it on. Whenever he hit that spear and Rock sold it like he had just been shot. Oh my god, it was just perfect. Of course, go ahead.
I went on a very long tangent that night. I was watching night one with Bo and Ham, and I went on a tangent about how The Rock is so much more famous than he would be if he wasn't as good of a seller. I mean, he got over as a guy that could just fucking sell, and he's one of my favorite sellers of all time. And I mean, he still got it. The dude likes to sell.
No, I agree. I agree with 3 Beers.
You can't be that good if you don't like to sell.
When he took that spear, it wasn't even. It was obviously the immediate impact, but then watching Rock sell the shit like this was the most painful thing he's ever taken, and like I said, for me, for that 2 minutes, I was like, damn, are the babyfaces getting ready to win? This is it,
dude. I cannot wait to talk about his promo on Monday night. But go ahead, Zach. I cut you off.
No, I really enjoyed the main event for what it was. The right person pinned the right person. I mean, it was just exactly. I won't say could have booked the match or produced the match exactly the same way. I would not have done that. I don't think I would have done as good of a job. But the end result ended up being the perfect thing, and it was not deflating at all. So
listen, compared to my expectations, I would probably give this 3 stars. My expectations were really high. I was a little disappointed in it, if I'm being honest. You can count me amongst the people that thinks that it was a little too long. The entrances, God bless you, Zach, and God bless you, the people that love those entrances. Because I know entrances are a big part of it.
Count me in.
That shit puts me to sleep.
Man, that motherfucker got me hyped.
I am from the TikTok generation. You know, you got to catch my attention.
Shit. Man, Rock coming out there with that lightning and shit, man, with that fucking belt. I was like, God damn, that motherfucker look good.
And the staring at the beginning really took a long time. And then they started walking and brawling, which is really the worst remnant of the Attitude Era. They don't do it as much as they used to, but those guys used to walk and brawl all the time.
Agreed.
I'm just not a fan of it. I hate it. That being said, now on to the good. I think that's the greatest people's elbow of all time. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but at that point, the drama in the match and the way that The Rock stood up and just he looked dead into the camera and did the slowest people elbow he could have, and it was I popped for it. I was like, that is badass. That is cool shit. I love the ending of it. I mean, the Rock delivered. This match delivered. I just, the build was so good. That's something we almost never say, is that the build was so good.
The build was good.
Almost anything would have been a disappointment.
No, to me, it wasn't a disappointment. It hit all the marks as far as I'm concerned. It set up night 2 pretty much perfectly.
Night 2. Not a disappointment.
Not a disappointment. I'm glad everybody else said it before I said it. I was worried about how The Rock would look. Obviously, he came off looking really well. I didn't think it was 44 minutes, until the next day when I saw it. I was like, damn, that was 44 minutes? Shit.
I thought it felt every bit of 44 minutes.
I thought it was a roller coaster ride in the best way, where you had the dips, the ups, the downs, the sharp turns. Here's the swerve with The Rock getting speared, the whole 9 yards.
I bet if I went back and watched it, I'd probably enjoy it more, to be honest.
I mean, you may not, and that's okay too. For me personally, it did not feel like 44 minutes. That's just me.
So, the Bloodline goes over, so the Bloodline rules for night 2. Zach, I know you did this on Friends of BFR on Facebook, but just for the people listening, what grade would you give night 1?
I give it a straight C.
That's what I give it, Jason.
C-.
Fair. Okay, so we got, fuck it. Let's hear for the 2 count.
Do what you want, man. It's our show.
So, Zach, what do you want to talk about? Who's ready for story time with 2 beers, Zach, baby?
Me.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about WrestleMania Night 2. So we'll just start top. Just because I feel like I was talking on Facebook, Friends of BFR, a little bit. This main event, which I guess we can do the rundown of the match itself, which was kind of what I expected in a general outline sense, but it was much more well executed and much more dramatic than I really even kind of thought possible. And so the basic outline of the match, which I expected, was about 20 minutes of main event WWE wrestling, and then some fuckery, and then Cody Rhodes overcomes obstacles to be crowned WWE champion finally. And that, in a sense, is what it was, but it was also so much more than that. The 20 minutes or so that they had the match was quite good, and then we had just an absolute callback of fuckery. It started with Jimmy Uso, I believe, who came in and, super kick party, bloodline rules, and then, of course, Jey Uso's music hits. And that's one thing that I loved about this as we go on. Nobody but myself and maybe a couple of other people have read Bill Vege's novel Marked Up. But one of my favorite parts of his novel which is a kayfabe universe piece of literature, is there's a guy doing a run-in to save, like a babyface save, and he's standing in the back with the producer, and he won't run out until he's like, hit my music, you gotta hit my music. And he won't run out until he hits the music. So you can just imagine Jey Uso's back there, and he's like, you gotta hit my music. He's in Gorilla, and they hit the music. So he tackles Jimmy off the side.
Can I say right here, that moment was better than their entire 11-minute match. Way more drama.
Absolutely.
Way more impactful. This is the feeling I wanted to feel on night one after their match, because when they went over that edge, I was like, oh shit, I knew there was something there. You just couldn't see it until the replay, and I was like, oh man, this shit's crazy. And the whole room exploded. I'm like, what? Why couldn't you just put that energy into the match you had at night one? Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. It was everything you wanted. But they brawl. Jay tackles Jimmy off the side. Those brothers flew deep and just down through a couple tables. I think they only hit one of them, but holy shit, that was awesome. And then, of course, you got Solo Sikoa, another Bloodline member, comes out, and they basically do the exact same thing they did in the WrestleMania 39. He's got him in the crossroads. Cody's got Roman in the crossroads. Solo gives him the thumb in the neck. And, of course, like, it plays into last year's WrestleMania, because who did Solo beat at WrestleMania? He beat John Cena. That wasn't WrestleMania. That was Saudi or something. But still, they've got history. John Cena comes out to make the save. Knocks out Solo Sikoa. Attitude adjustments, Roman Reigns. I'm like, we are popping off, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we were at Jennifer Hall's house for that one. Oh man, the whole room was just like, fuck yeah. Even Bill, the biggest John Cena hater of them all, was into this whole part. I'm like, okay, you know what's going to happen next. So go ahead. You know me at this point, I'm on the edge of my seat because you know he's getting ready to come out.
Like, as soon as Solo was out, I knew it. I told Sarah, I was like, John Cena's going to come out. And then he's like, dun, 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 dun. She's like, how did you know that? And I'm like, it's the perfect thing. I was like, if I wanted to book the perfect thing, I was like, this is what I would do.
Yes.
And then, so Cena comes out, he cleans house, and then The Rock's music hits. And I told her, I was like, now The Rock's going to come out. And, like, she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. I was like, The Rock's going to come out. And, like, the music hits, and she's like, what?
That's your ass, Mr. Postman.
They do the stare down, and then I told her, I was like, it's gonna be Stone Cold Steve Austin next, and I was like, as soon as that glass breaks, I'm gonna lose my shit. And then, of course, it wasn't. It was the Undertaker, which was not what I was expecting. So I think I popped even harder.
Right.
It's like the gong hit, and the crowd went wild, and I was like, oh my god!
I'm like, what the fuck? God damn it!
Dude, I felt like a child.
Yes.
Again. Like, I was so enthralled, and this is just like callbacks, and of course, just this big, huge, dramatic build, and then Taker literally takes The Rock out. He likes to go out, he disappears, he's out of the match, and then it's just Cody and Roman, 3 crossroads. Cody wins the championship. Samantha Irving is bawling her fucking eyes out.
I'm like, come on, girl, just get through it.
Yeah, she cannot even get through the call. Michael Cole is crying. Like, Michael Cole was the greatest Michael Cole he's ever been. This was one of the best wrestling calls, like the best wrestling announcing calls I've ever heard. He's sitting there crying, talking about how he's known Cody since he was a child, and just, dude, everybody's crying. The locker room empties out. Like, it's like Lex Luger, Bret Hart, or whatever, you know, like from like 20 years ago. Like, the locker room empties out. It's all the baby faces. They're lifting him up on his shoulder. He goes around, he's shaking everybody's hand. Like, everybody's just shaking everybody's hand. Like, you know, going around to the announcers and timekeepers, and goes over to Nick Khan, and, like, you know, his mom's there. He hands her the belt, like, just like he said he would. And then he goes in the back. Oh, actually, before he goes in the back, then he does his speech, and he's like, I've got people that I could not have done this without. And then he's like, Bruce Pritchard.
I'm
And
like,
everybody's
no!
like, they're like, Cody, we love you. We do not want to boo you in your big moment, but you are really pushing it. Here,
Okay,
brother.
this is not the dude to bring out. No, keep him in the back. God damn, why are you doing me like this right now?
Yeah, people start booing, but then he tells Triple H to come out, and then Triple H saves the day with the cheers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, this was the kind of passing of the torch. This was a kind of a genre-defining spectacle. It was really I think you can say that this is in 20 years we will say this was the kind of kickoff to whatever era, the Renaissance era that Cody's going to call it, the Triple H era, whatever you want to call it. This will be remembered as like the Austin 316s, as I just whooped your ass. It was, Cody getting this championship. Anyway, I will stop, but I thought this was just one of the most important things to happen in modern wrestling, and it's just baffling how good of a babyface Cody Rhodes is. He just feels like he's absolutely made for this. You just can't imagine doing anything else. He's the perfect, what he is, he's perfect at it. It's bonkers. He used to be the 3-star general, and now he's out there just making millions of people cry.
This is the type of this is such a WWE WrestleMania. I mean, epic. I mean, this was an epic match. Was it bordering on too cute? Yeah, it was bordering on too cute.
Yes,
but it was cute, and I'm talking about the match, not the Cody part afterwards, which I thought was a throwback like to when Dusty won it in NWA, that they all hoisted them up, all the baby faces. I mean, but it was one of those moments like in Survivor Series when you're just like, holy shit, look at all these motherfuckers that this company has right now. I mean, it is just fucking loaded with guys that are over.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the match, the big thing that stands out to me from the match, I did not expect them to have as much of a straight-up wrestling match as they did. When the shenanigans started, it was obviously very entertaining. The gong popped me. Surprise! I think it took everybody by surprise. The Undertaker was not even being thought of or mentioned in the lead up to this WrestleMania at all. I think a lot of people wanted Austin. Whatever. I mean, either one would have been cool. Austin probably would have been cooler, but The Rock and Taker have a big long history too.
Yep.
The part that really threw me, and Jason and I were in the same room, was when the Shield music played. I mean, I was in the.
I forgot about Seth Rollins.
It was because, and I think that you're lying if you say that it never crossed your mind. You're like, holy shit, is Ambrose there too? I never thought that.
I think that was fully the intention of the initial Shield music playing for sure. Yeah,
I was.
But that.
I was.
How many years ago was that?
When Ambrose left?
That Rollins.
No.
That Rollins.
The Shield breakup.
The Shield.
Well,
over 10.
Yeah, because Roman won the 2015 Royal Rumble as a babyface, and that was in the same building. That was in Philadelphia.
Got booed out the building.
He got booed out the building, and that was 2015. And I think that was after Rollins had betrayed him.
Feels right.
I don't think he was still I don't think the Shield was still active at that point. I think they were all singles wrestlers. But anyway, it was about 10 years ago, and I said it in the room, okay, when you realize that Ambrose, and I never really thought that Ambrose was there, but I was like, holy shit, is Ambrose there? But it's really kind of perfect storytelling because Seth Rollins did say, I'll be your Shield. He knew from prior shit because he came out to the Shield music against Roman several years ago.
Royal Rumble.
And Roman got so pissed off that it was a DQ finish.
Correct.
And, kayfabe style, you got to think that Seth Rollins thinks if I come out to the Shield music, this is going to distract Roman and he's going to take his eye off the ball, and that would be my way of helping Cody. And in that sense, it's kind of perfect storytelling. In a totally other sense, and I said this when it happened, I was like, well, Seth kind of had that one coming, didn't he? You know, so it is like things coming.
10 years, bitch.
It is like things coming full circle. Like Roman got his revenge on Seth, but at what cost?
The title.
You know?
Yeah, it cost him the title. It was brilliant. I can't even believe I left that out whenever I was talking about it because it was one of the more poignant.
It's
pieces of the match.
moment because he had Roman has the chair in hand. Cody's recovering. And Seth's recovering, and he has a choice.
Cody
to
sold in
make.
that motherfucker for like 15 straight minutes. That guy was laying by the announce
All hell's
table.
breaking loose. It's like, oh my god, I'm still hurt. Nah, but it's the if you want to nitpick it, fair enough. That's something to be nitpicked.
I don't want to nitpick it. I mean, it was once you saw what it was going to be, it's like, okay.
I'm like, fuck it, let it go.
Right. When they decided what match it was going to be, which was this epic style, kind of ridiculous, over the top Avengers style, like, Avengers come in to save Cody, then, okay, that's fine. You can make that decision. Now execute it. And they executed it, Another thing that I want to say, and I'm sorry if I'm filibustering, but fuck John Cena.
You popped. Don't lie. You popped.
No, he had that little shit fucking John Cena smile when they were supposed to have that stare off in the middle of the match. It's like, dude, you are such a bad actor that you can't. It's just The Rock is acting him out of the fucking building at that point. He just him standing next to Rock. This is all I'm saying.
Right or wrong, you popped when John Cena came out.
No, I didn't pop because I called it right before it, remember? And you were like, damn, you fucking said that. I was like, here comes and then it fucking came out right then. No, I didn't pop. He does not, when he stands face to face with The Rock is a fucking megawatt fucking neon sign, and he is a fucking blinking off and steepo sign, dude. He is fucking nothing compared to The Rock. That's all I'll say. I mean, tell me if am I wrong? Is he is nothing. The Rock is so much he's in a different stratosphere, a different fucking layer.
As obviously the big Rock fan in the room, I'm gonna say you're wrong. The crowd told you you're wrong. They popped.
Well, then you ain't the biggest Rock fan in the room.
Yes, I am. Ups or downs, left or right. I'm still with this motherfucker. And when he rock bottomed John Cena, I left up out the motherfucking chair like it was nobody's business, like the Steelers just won the Super Bowl. Big ass pop. When the Undertaker's music hit, I had the biggest negative pop on that because I'm like, oh shit, here comes Taker, the one motherfucker that I didn't want to see, didn't expect to see, come down to to take out my boy.
So Zach and I had perfect predictions on night 2. Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about the rest of the night. My bad. But yeah,
so you can jump to it if you want to.
Okay. So we had. I just want to say that Zach and I predicted everything correctly. The only one that you got wrong was Final Testament. But it says something about a wrestling show where you can predict everything correctly and still give it an A, because that's what I give night 2, and I'm pretty sure that's what Zach gives night 2. I mean, that's saying something about execution of stories and how predictable isn't always bad.
No, I don't have a problem with predictable as long as if you make it make sense. That to me is half the battle, and that's in this scenario. The only thing I would say, everything. If you guys said everything I could possibly say about the main event, I would just say just the one sidebar, the Taker Austin part of it. Austin would have been perfect. We get it. That's probably Rock's biggest rival. It makes total sense.
Would have made it an A+.
Okay. Rock beat Taker for the title. Roman beat Taker to the point where he almost retired. That makes sense, too.
Yeah, it does. And I'll just say it like this. When the gong hit and you were expecting the glass to break, my reaction wasn't, oh. My reaction was, oh. You know what I mean? It was like a parallel thing. It wasn't like a huge disappointment. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah, this is a swerve that I didn't expect to happen. And then for me, like I said, because I hate Taker, so I know what's getting ready to happen. He's getting ready to take my boy out. And next thing you know, he pops out of nowhere like, son of a bitch, you fucking my shit up.
Taker walked out like he was going for a cigarette break after 4 hours on the grill. It's like, what was he wearing? He was wearing like back of house No shit, dude. It's like he practically had a
Thanks for
hairnet
dressing
in.
up, Taker.
Yeah, seriously. I know he said he retired the Undertaker suit or whatever, but all right, dude. Can you fucking wear jeans? Jesus Christ.
You ain't
Pulled
shit.
him off the fry line.
It really did look like he
Don't
looked,
encourage him.
much love to all my back of house people, but he looked like a back of house guy that was coming out to smoke a fucking Pall Mall.
I'm surprised he didn't like display his new finisher called the dish tip.
But yeah, it looks like he's like in the door that empties out from the kitchen, like into the alley, like next to all the bags and like the fucking dumpsters there. And there's like somebody's emptying out the grease trap, and he's just burning a cigarette, looking at his phone. That's what he fucking was dressed like.
And like the cigarette was one that he had put out from earlier in life.
Perfect. That's perfect.
So right before that, we had kind of a co-main event, but this was actually the main event. But we had Bayley versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's title, and obviously the main event was the spectacle. It was like the big thing. This was like the pure wrestling match of the night. I thought these women killed it. Bayley sold her knee so well. It's a really great performance. I think maybe the only thing that you could nitpick about this match was people really, really, really wanted Bayley to win. And so, like, they just weren't having, like, Io near falls nearly as much. They kind of, like, expected it. But, man, the work rate in this was phenomenal. Really showed out. And, I mean, Io was champion for a lot longer than she seemed to be champion because she didn't really have any, like, big standout feuds or anything. But it was cool for Bayley to have this level of match at this stage. Feel good moment, 2 in a row. It's like 2 big babyface wins in the co-main event. It was really cool.
It was the cherry on top of the cake, at least for the story for Bayley for coming from the damage control betrayal now to win the title, having her first singles WrestleMania match seems absolutely bonkers. And I had said it before the match, and Bill was like, are you sure? He's like, and then Michael Cole comes out and says it a few minutes later to kind of reinforce the shit. It's weird to think about, but I think this was long overdue for Bayley.
I didn't believe you.
No, I wouldn't have believed me either. I mean, Bayley's been around long enough to where you would think logically she would have had one singles match somewhere on the card, title or no title, somewhere she'd have had a singles match, and it just hadn't happened. So in this scenario, it's kind of like, her resume builder. Becky Lynch won the NXT title, check. So, if she wants to ride off into the sunset now, she can if she wants to. Bayley, was a Grand Slam winner, but she hadn't had her WrestleMania moment. She hadn't had her singles WrestleMania match. Now you can check that off as well. I agree with Zach. This was a really good match. It was better than I anticipated. I had expectations for it, but this was better than I would say Rhea and Becky was. For me, this was one of the better matches of either night 1 or night 2. Bayley going over, like I said, to me was the nice way to end the story. Now you can move Bayley to Raw or SmackDown, wherever you want to move her, and if you don't want to move her, that's fine too. But hopefully she has a good title run. That's my only knock against Io Sky's title run.
Yeah,
it
she
just
didn't have
didn't,
any signature wins.
it was that, and just a lot of the fuckery just never really let her just cook. You know what I'm saying?
Bayley has really risen in my estimation through that whole damage control run. She was such a phenomenal heel and one that I really didn't see coming. And
the pandemic didn't change your mind?
No,
wow.
I don't. To be honest, I don't remember a whole lot about Bayley during the pandemic.
Ding dong, hello.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. No, I like this heel version better. I thought that she was better as a heel. Anyway, maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
But that's the Bayley stuff. Nice to see her get the win. She's obviously great, and I like her as a babyface more because of her heel run, and that's the point.
No, that's Wrestling 101.
Yep. The thing, Io is just incredible.
No, she's a bad bitch.
She fucking... There was that one time where she came out of that move and, like... She kind of no-sold it and, like, landed like right into like this little dance thing that she did, and I was like, God damn,
She did her.
she looked like fucking
Bailey
Shinsuke
did-
Nakamura doing that shit.
Bailey did her like new finisher, which I don't like, and she did like a head spring, like a head spring, like out of like a Mexican lucha.
Mhm. I do
head
remember that.
spring,
Yeah,
no shoulder.
I do remember that. I thought, I just chalked it up. It was a nice counter. You know,
Oh, you know what I forgot to bring up, and just to go back for a second, that thing that Rhea and Becky did, where Becky was on her shoulders and they fell out of the ring,
yes,
and then landed in the same way they fell out of the ring. So they did like a full like somersault
over the top rope.
over the top rope. Becky on top of Rhea's shoulders, and they landed
Dope.
with on Rhea's feet. It's almost hard to explain. It was fucking unbelievable. And
It's-
it wasn't even a move. They just
it's
kind of
just
did
basically
it. It was like
they just kind of just did they bounced over the top rope onto the floor
that is-
in the same
that is-
spot.
to do that with somebody else.
On your shoulders is absolutely amazing.
And even as the person on the shoulders, like that is so athletic.
yeah, on both ends.
Happy for Bailey. Happy that she won. Io Sky. I hope that she gets back to a belt holder. I hope they give her some signature wins.
For sure.
Yeah, for me, Bailey has always been the best of the four horsewomen, but she's been the least star. And it's cool to see her get her flowers.
Damn. Oh, you gonna let him say that? You gonna let him say that?
I mean, that's a hot take.
I'm not a big Charlotte Flair fan. Like, she's athletic and she can pull out some like big matches and stuff, but I don't have her nearly as high as I don't think of her as highly as you guys do. I don't think.
What about Sasha?
Good worker. Like, she's got star power, but she's never. I don't know. Like, she's not like a good promo at all. We're seeing that in AEW.
Okay, so let's keep it in the ring. Rank the four horsewomen in ring ability, least to best.
Least to best.
Least to best.
Becky, Bailey, Banks, Charlotte.
Yeah, I'd honestly probably put Charlotte at the bottom of all four of them.
Now hold on a second. Now, you would put Charlotte at the bottom of all four just talking about in-ring ability?
Maybe. I mean, she's had a couple really standout matches, like against Becky and against Rhea. Becky's always best with Charlotte.
Charlotte and Sasha had like 8 title matches where they kind of flipped it back and forth
I was getting
for
ready
a
to say
while.
the first two were like really good.
They were like all good though.
No, I guess for me it just kind of ran its course. I'm like, goddamn, you know.
I mean, that's what my head goes back to when we're talking about the in-ring ability of the four horsewomen, is that Sasha and Charlotte series that was just it seemed like it lasted forever, but like every match was good.
Yeah, I'd have to give it a little bit of thought.
But then you got Sasha and
that's right.
Bailey, that NXT match, which is better than all of them.
Yeah, it's a fucking classic. Their NXT rivalry is a classic wrestling feud, and it's.
So I mean, by that rationale, I should probably put Sasha first. I mean, honestly, but that's I didn't know that you felt that way, Zach. It feels like we talk about wrestling a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong about this. I could be way off, but I've never been
It's
that high
opinion.
on Charlotte.
I mean, it's valid. Your opinion matters.
Okay, this is a safe space.
All right, so we did have a triple threat match. Logan Paul defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Pretty much exactly how I thought this was going to go. As far as, Logan Paul sneaking a pin after Randy Orton KOs Kevin Owens. Like, that's basically what I figured, and it's going to set up Randy and Logan down the line. But this was a great match while it was on. I really like the way they started, even though psychology-wise it seems weird to have the two baby faces beat up the heels, but Logan Paul's so hateable, and he's got so much heat that it's just totally fine. And then they did a nice job of turning it around and just pounding each other. So this was a good match. just like Bill said, predictable is not bad by any means. Really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I was into this. I think Zach said it pretty well. I was into it while it was on. I haven't done a whole lot of thinking about it since then, but it was definitely fun. Orton is clowning. I mean, it barely looks like the guy's trying. Like, he's literally just out there having fun. He's like, I've done this so many fucking times.
This ain't shit.
I mean, because he's really out there. The first 5 minutes of this match were a comedy match.
Agreed.
So, and you don't see Orton do that very often. He clearly likes to do it. I mean, he just kind of feels like, he's a made man. He's a veteran. He can do whatever he wants, and they probably, with their blessing. And, of course, I love KO, so.
No, this was the right call was made. This is a showcase more for Logan Paul than anything else because it just feels like he's going to be one of those guys in this Triple H era that's going to be a name that you're just going to have to deal with, whether you like him or not. I think he's a really good heel, athletic as fuck. He gets the psychology of wrestling. The poor bastard that got who's the guy that came in the prime bottle that Randy Orton just obliterated. Okay, that poor bastard. I don't know how much you got paid, but damn.
We were marking out at Joey's house. We were like, Orton's going to kill this kid. We were like, oh, Orton's going to fuck this kid up. And then Orton looked him in the face and goes, oh.
This is Sparta. He just kicked the shit out that dude. I was like, yeah, he's fucked him up.
Orton's like one of the best workers there is. He could make it look like he was killing you without actually killing you. But I feel like he saw that guy was in a padded suit. And he's just like, I'm gonna kill this kid.
Yep.
And when he kicked him in the chest, he kicked. It was like this is Sparta. It was nuts.
Good on that kid too. I think his name's what did I say? Sweet? I think it's something like that.
I chose Speed.
Oh, Speed. That's what it is.
I chose Speed. Yeah.
But he kudos.
Yeah.
He took it like a champ.
Okay.
He was there. He was there to play. He was there to do the job.
Okay.
I'll say this about Logan Paul in that, and of course we've been singing his praises for a long time, but this is the type of match that if there's any sort of, how sometimes, and Logan Paul's not a celebrity, he's a professional wrestler, but sometimes celebrities get in there and they overdo it, or they it's like they're almost looking down at wrestling, or they're laughing because they're there but they're not playing it. The psychology in that match was perfect. Logan Paul's acting was perfect. The guy is an incredible athlete, and I hate to love him, but I love him.
He's a good heel. There's no question about it. Like I said, he will be one to watch in this Triple H era because I think he'll be at the top of the mountain at some point.
I'm like that personification of that It's Always Sunny meme where it's got all the flow charts and the conspiracy theories, and I'm me explaining to someone why I actually like Logan Paul.
Yeah, I know. It is tough to defend in mixed company.
It really is.
That's why I don't do that shit. I don't even say nothing. Just go ahead, Logan, kick his ass.
We had LA Knight defeating AJ Styles in what was actually a very good match. AJ really showed that, man, this is the best LA Knight match, and I attribute that mostly to AJ because most of LA Knight's arsenal is just him punching dudes so that the crowd can say, yeah, and which is fine. He's over. I'm happy for him. He put a lot of work in for a lot of years. Let him take that Slim Jim money. Let him sell those T-shirts. He's an entertaining wrestler, but he's not that guy in the ring. But he was at WrestleMania, which is very cool for him. And if you look at AJ Styles historically, and Eli Drake or LA Knight historically, LA Knight's always been a body guy. AJ Styles is just as big, if not bigger, than LA Knight right now, which is really weird. AJ is really buff right now.
Yeah, he looks pretty crazy buff, actually. Kind
Talk
of
about my hair again.
Illegally buff.
Yes, 100%.
I don't want to cast aspersions on the man or assume anything, but
I was say AJ Styles just pulled a little shrapnel out of his leg.
Vince had a strict no steroid policy. I don't know about Triple H.
That guy thinks the earth is flat and steroids are good.
Y'all niggas is wrong. I'm gonna push back on the Eli Drake thing a little bit. For me, if you can run on the mat and jump from the mat to the top rope, that's a little athleticism. That means you could do a little more than just punch and make the crowd go, yeah. I'm not saying he's AJ Styles, Zack Sabre Jr. level. No, nothing like that. But I don't think he's just as basic as some of us here like to say. Outside of that, I agree with everything you said.
He's better than Roman Reigns.
Damn, you ain't shit.
Roman
discovered.
Go ahead.
Discovered the AJ stands for always juicing. I always wondered what.
Always juicing Styles.
This nigga ain't shit.
I'm telling you, Roman's making it out of this podcast easy. I did not go as hard at Roman as I wanted to go at Roman.
No, you're about to say Sunday night. It was me and him outside, and we not getting into it, but it was a fairly spirited debate on the pros and cons of Roman Reigns, to say the least.
Yeah, I know what the cons are. It's the wrestling part.
Oh man,
I liked AJ Styles in LA Knight though. I agree with Zach online that night. I was like, he said it was the best LA Knight match by a mile, and I went on Facebook to say the exact same thing. So
no, I agree. It was good to see LA Knight kind of get back on track. I like the build to it. AJ losing doesn't do anything, no damage to him or anything like that. You know, AJ's pretty much Teflon in this Triple H regime. I just hope he doesn't go on a streak where he's just putting guys over.
Can you inject Teflon? Because I think AJ probably injected some.
Synthol.
You ain't shit, man. What the fuck? God damn.
His hair's going to start getting curly.
Stop, dog. Leave that man alone.
I don't even know what that means.
It was funny though. We had the Pride, which is Bobby Lashley, Dawkins, and Ford, and also BFAB, defeat Final Testament, which is Karrion Kross, Akam, and Razar, with also Scarlett, who was looking pretty good at WrestleMania. And this match was I expected it to be. I figured it was just. I was like, they're gonna really need to like do a lot of gimmicks, and they totally did. I didn't know. Was Bubba Ray Dudley, was that just a surprise thing? I hadn't heard about that at all.
No.
That was news to me.
That was a surprise.
Right on. So, yeah, that was cool for the Philly crowd. A lot of history with him in Philly. And, I mean, from a psychology standpoint, just an absolute babyface ref, like actually directing, like, spots. Like, here, beat him up this way. Like, that doesn't really work all that well, but it was fun for the crowd, and lots of tables broken. Crowd didn't even really turn on it whenever they put Karrion Kross on the table, and it broke immediately. They just went and got another table, and they were like, hey, another table.
Yeah.
And Montez Ford did some crazy jumping. This is everything that it should have been. It was less than 10 minutes, didn't overstay its welcome. This is way better than really any of the multi-man or multi-woman stuff of the like tag team or anything on the night before. So really kind of surprising.
Yeah, if you're like a 40-year-old dude and you tune into WrestleMania and that's the only time you watch wrestling all year, which is what, you know, a good number of people do, you want to see Bubba Ray Dudley there. You want to see somebody push him. You want to see Angelo push him. You want to hear Bubba Ray say, get the tables, you know. So, and the what, you know, they're playing the hits. It's WrestleMania. So I had no problem with this. This was actually better than I thought it would be.
I guess I'm going to be that dude. No, not so much. I'm sorry. I'll say this. I'm glad I saw Final Testament show up on NXT because it just feels like they have no room on the main roster at this point. It was a party match, but just when the table broke, when Karrion Kross went over, I made the joke in the room where, the table doesn't even want to be a part of this match. I didn't want to watch this match. The table doesn't want to be a part of this match. Bubba's stumbling up the turnbuckle, trying, when he came into the ring for his entrance and shit. I was just like, okay, just the sooner we get past this, the better. It was, like you said, less than 10 minutes. It felt like to me it was 20. I don't care what nobody say. This just drug on forever for me. It was not very fun. I know other people enjoyed it. I'm sure you guys did. God bless y'all for it. I am not that one. We could have did without this.
Jason watching this match is like when the cat gets locked in the room with you masturbating. It's like, oh my God, when are you going to stop this? It's so weird. Oh God, it's just going on.
He's
forever.
looking at me now. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, it was bad, man. I had no fucking desire to watch this bullshit.
I have a cat, but I have to imagine that's exactly what it's like.
Well, it's just it's like that.
So, it's like that. We had the opener was Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, and for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was pretty much like one of those Brock Lesnar matches that like Paul Heyman would like produce and put together. It was finisher, kick out. Super fun though, short, and I was I was not surprised that it was short because Bill had a good prediction on Thursday that like, oh, this can be a squash because me and Seth really took a beating the night before.
Yeah.
But they went so short because they had a big block of time after where Drew is, celebrating. Then he's going over to Punk, talking shit, and then Damian Priest cashes in after Punk lays Drew out with his elbow brace or like whatever. So really well executed cash in, really well executed angle, really great. Drew got his moment, but he also was not able to keep it. At the same time, I could really see them doing a Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre match at Clash at the Castle, where Drew actually gets his real deal moment. I think that would be pretty cool. Anyway, this was awesome opener. I mean, really popped for the cash in. Flip a coin whether it was going to happen. I would have given it 50-50 odds beforehand, but it was cool. Very cool moment for Priest and for really good angle for everybody involved.
No, I agree. At the time when Drew won it, I said it right then. I was like, everybody's like, good for Drew, and I great for Drew. Shit, I was wearing his new, one of his new shirts, with the burial shirt where he's giving the peace sign to CM Punk's WrestleMania dreams and shit. So, at that point, I'm all invested in this shit. But I did say if there was a time for Damian Priest to cash in, I think I said it last week, and I said it the day of. I was like, it's got to happen right now. Otherwise, you're running out of time. I never really thought about it. I was in the Drew moment, just, letting him take his flowers because the first time around, obviously, nobody was there. The match was super, super quick. Brock Lesnar did the job and was basically running to the car to get the fuck up out of there. This second time around, I was more into Drew, taking it all in, going to the wife, going to his family, all this stuff. And then the Punk thing started to happen. And that's when it started to linger. And then that's why I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm like, it's going to happen. Now, how we get there is the question. No problem with Punk doing the deed then and on Monday night as well. I would love to see Drew get the title at Clash of the Castle because that would be, another nice little bouquet of flowers for your boy. I don't know if I want Damian Priest to be a transitional champion, though. I would like to see him at least get, a little run to see what he can do with it. Nothing crazy, 6 months tops. But I just thought this was really, really well done. It just makes me more excited for Punk versus Drew whenever that's going to happen. People are saying SummerSlam. That kind of feels about right. I don't think you have to wait that long. I mean, if you wanted to do it beforehand, Money in the Bank is creeping up on us as well. So, I mean, there's opportunities to do it. But I thought this match I think it went a little longer than anticipated, but it being the curtain jerker of night 2, it really set it up to where Drew could possibly win it. And then from that point, in my head, I was like, dude, just run out of the fucking ring because Damian Priest is going to cash in. I just wasn't sure how it was going to happen, and ultimately it did. So kudos on that sense. I thought this was nice bookends for night 2, obviously with Seth Drew on the front end, Cody and Roman on the back end. This was the night that I wasn't expecting it to be as strong, and it really uplifted both nights because I thought, like I said, night 1 was subpar at best. It was a good way to end the night. At least we're going backwards in this scenario. It's a good way to start the night. And like I said, the bookend, Cody winning the title was, the cherry on top of a very, very long 2-year journey for Cody. I will say this, just my last thought about Cody, and then if we want to move on to AEW, we can. I said the night of him winning it, the chase is great. The chase was great. Now he's there. Now the story that comes after this has to be just as good, or they will turn on Cody. I don't want to see Cody get booed, but this is a fickle fan base at times. I've seen them turn.
I don't really see that happening for a
I don't
long
think
time.
so either, but I'm just saying, if they start, and this is me and I'm thinking like, God forbid Triple H fumbles Cody, and I just don't really see that. I mean, it feels like he's invested in Cody. This is his, top baby face, so he's going to look after him. I would assume that's going to be the same way, but Cody's
going to defend the belt every month and against all challengers. It's going to be such a breath of fresh air compared to what people are going to love him.
No, and that's what my hope is that fans don't turn on Cody immediately. Just let this thing play itself out. Rock is going to be here somewhere down the line. Roman Reigns is going to resurface somewhere at some point. It might not be, the way it's going to be. Might be banger out of the gate. The matches will be good. The story has to be even better.
Did you guys talk about the cash-in?
Yes.
I'm probably echoing what you guys said. I just thought it was brilliant. I thought that Drew talking quietly to CM Punk, drew you in and, made you be quiet and really try to pay attention to what he was saying. And it swerved me. I forgot about Damian Priest. I know that, Jason, you said that you didn't. I forgot about him. And when his music played, I was like, oh, fuck. He's going to cash in. They did it. That is extremely smart because everybody came out of that segment looking good.
Yeah.
Seth looked good. Drew looked good. Drew got to hold the belt, for 10 minutes or whatever. CM Punk tried acting cool until he couldn't take it anymore, and then he fucked Drew up, and then Damian Priest walks out your new champ. Perfectly booked.
Yeah.
Just perfect.
Yeah, I always was wondering how we would get there. Hell, I wasn't even sure for a while there that Priest would cash in successfully. I always, would hedge my bets on it. I would never, ever commit to that he would successfully cash this joker in. The way that Triple H laid it out, you couldn't have done it any better. If this was a standalone PLE, this would be a contender of, match of the year, card of the year, whatever choice of words, card of the year.
It'll be in the running for a pay-per-view of the year. Night 2. I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Okay, fair enough.
If it isn't, then we're lucky.
Yeah, we got a bunch of shit coming up.
You ain't lying. But no, I thought this was, like I said, really good. I'll give it the official letter grade. I'll give it an A as well. The matches I thought that were good were better than I anticipated. You got the Cody finish the story. Drew got to touch the title. Storylines abound, especially from the second night. I thought this was really, really well done.
I just thought about this. Should we just have a B for Hall of Fame where if all three of us agree that something should go in the Hall of Fame, it should just go in the Hall of Fame?
Ooh, B for Hall of Fame.
I'd put this show in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, B for Hall of Fame. I like the idea of a B for Hall of Fame.
Shit, nigga.
Anyway, we're almost we can almost close the book on WrestleMania 40, but
1, 2,
Be for Hall of Fame.
We're just going to keep that WWE train rolling, and we got to talk about the Raw after WrestleMania. Opens up with Triple H coming out and talking about being the biggest WrestleMania ever. He puts WrestleMania over. He puts the company over. Cody comes out. He puts Cody over huge. And while Cody's out there, he does what you would call it a classic babyface, I just won the championship promo. But, Cody is the babyface for these modern times. He is really good at what he does. He's got 1 foot in the old school and 1 foot in the new school. He respects the business, second generation. This promo had a little bit of juice on it. What I really want to talk about is the exchange that he and The Rock had afterwards, because I thought The Rock had some development to his character, and his character developed into a bit of a psycho because he was incredible and Cody was too. But when The Rock asked Cody to hold his belt, I about fell out my chair. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? What a fucking weirdo as a character, yet it made sense. Apparently it was a callback. I don't care if it was a callback or not, just as it stood alone. I was like, this is so interesting. And, Cody had some good comebacks for him. Rock hands him something. We can speculate about what that is. Speculating about what that is not as interesting to me, though, as The Rock's new character wrinkle, which is just as a fucking weirdo, I guess. I don't know. What you think of this, Zach?
It was quite a dramatic tonal shift, for sure. But what was this whole segment? 40 minutes uninterrupted?
It was really long.
This is maybe the longest talking segment in WWE history, which is saying something. It was almost as long. It was as long as the main event of night one, and it was almost as long as the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels Iron Man match, which felt like my entire puberty. That was how long that
was. Jesus Christ.
Jason. But it's set up. I'm excited for what it's set up.
Yeah, it set up something for sure. They're doing long-term storytelling. What the fuck else do we ask for? It might be SummerSlam. It might be WrestleMania. But turns out that through that entire build to WrestleMania, the shit that people actually want to see is The Rock versus Cody.
Which was crazy to think about 6 months ago. And now, we're trying to figure out when is it going to happen. I'm with you on this one, Bill. When Rock was like, I just want to hold your title, I'm like, Cody, don't be the typical baby face. Don't. No. Think about the last 2 years, you fucking idiot. Why are you handing him the title?
I was surprised he let him do it. I thought he was going to say you can hold it when you beat me or something like that. But no, he let the motherfucker hold it.
I'm just like, dude, it was like,
Even The Rock and The Rock's
it's like same time, motherfucker. I don't know you. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? No.
I had a lot of fun with old DJ on night 2 where I was like, he's carrying that belt. That ain't a real belt. I kept calling it an FTW belt and everything. But when that dude yelled from the crowd that your belt is fake, The Rock's delivery when he was like, no, he's like, this belt isn't fake. He's like, and he talked about it being given to him by Muhammad Ali's family. It was a tonal shift, yes, but it seemed like he was like, he couldn't believe that all of his plans got squashed.
Humbled. He was humbled a little bit.
He was humbled, but he still thinks he's the shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, you got me, motherfucker. I'll be back. Rock doesn't know when.
Not wrong.
And he's not wrong. And that spear that he took from Roman is going to come back into play at some time too, because Roman is not done. So
we're gonna get Cody Rock at some Saudi show, and we're gonna get Rock Roman next WrestleMania. That's what I predict.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Fuck it, let it happen, Kevin. Shit, yeah, I'm totally down.
Some other notes from the Raw after WrestleMania. Usually a big deal.
It was.
it was a big deal, but it wasn't the big deal that I think it usually is. And well, people expect a lot from that show. There were some call-ups. That segment was almost a third of the show.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But I still think that's part of what I just said before. This story for Cody has to be more captivating, if that's even possible, or as captivating as the chase up to this point.
What I was going to say is, you don't need Raw after WrestleMania to be off the charts, shocking, bringing somebody back, somebody comes back from injury, if WrestleMania fucking rules. And WrestleMania fucking ruled. So, like, it's not like nobody's talking about being let down by the Raw after WrestleMania, even though it was just there was a 4-way match to see who the number one contender is, and CM Punk came out. CM Punk was all over WrestleMania weekend, so there was nothing shocking.
I'll say this. For me, the way my mind worked was Triple H. It feels like to me Triple H is trying to make NXT the third brand. And we were talking about this way yonder ago when Vince was in charge. Roxanne comes up. She wins her debut match. Dragunov comes up. He wins. In Vince's era, this would have been taboo. NXT talent would have never gone over the main roster talent, especially on the main roster show.
However, it is well established. Vince sucked.
But we all can agree with that. But I guess that's to me the more intriguing part of it was that you had the NXT call-ups overtaken main roster guys.
We had Dragunov and Roxanne Perez, both your men's and women's champs, make appearances. I want to say it's both of their debuts on Monday Night Raw.
I think so.
So what do you make of that? Do you think that they are going to start having NXT champions show up on weekly television, Raw and SmackDown, or do you think that Roxanne, or do you think this was just, hey, let's see what you do on the big stage, or do you think this was these two are going to drop their belts soon and be on the main roster?
Ivar coming on NXT just leads me to believe that this is just going to be
Final Testament
at the end. It's just going to be a conglomerate of talent where NXT is going to be the quote-unquote third brand. I don't want to use the word minor league developmental system. In our heads and our hearts, we know that. But in kayfabe style, I think they're just going to just have them all just on this platform where you will see Natty go to NXT. You'll see Final Testament come down, and
it's been that way for a little while, though.
I think they're going to really lean into it. When Ivar showed up on NXT, I was like, oh, okay. Now this was especially important for like Ivar and the Final Testament. On the main roster, they had hit their ceiling. There was no place else there they can go. You give them another opportunity.
Can I say a matchup that I've never thought of until this moment, and now that I'm thinking about it, I want to share it with you? Sammy versus Dragunov for the Intercontinental. Let's do it.
Oh my golly!
Say less, nigga. I mean,
it's like whose chest can get more red?
Right.
Even if let's just say Dragunov was the NXT champion at the time, obviously him and Trick are going to wrestle in a couple weeks. You would expect Trick to win that, but let's say Trick doesn't. I would still expect that to be in play because in my head they're trying to elevate, quote unquote, NXT to where it feels like it's a third brand on par with it, Raw and SmackDown.
We had, let's see. We had McIntyre versus Jay versus Ricochet versus Bronson Reed for the number one contendership for Damian Priest belt. McIntyre looks to be in place to win. CM Punk comes out, trips him up. And so Jey Uso is your new number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship title belt. This makes all the sense in the world. Jey Uso as Damian Priest's first challenger for his belt makes sense because Jey Uso is mega over. He is main event Jey Uso, and it is a feud that Damian Priest can win, and everybody can come out looking good.
I can't.
Coming off a white-hot win at WrestleMania.
That's true. Jay did win at WrestleMania.
Stop, dog. I don't even want to talk about that match anymore. I guess to me, just looking at it, Ricochet wasn't going to win. I was hoping Bronson Reed could win, maybe do something with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal that you guys continuously still drag out but don't capitalize on the guy that wins. Jey Uso was a good pick.
Who's your favorite Andre the Giant Battle Royale winner?
Ooh, shit. Damn, I'm trying to think, because one of them was actually good. Cesaro won, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Cesaro.
Cesaro, there you go.
Motherfucker trying to trip me up. Anyway.
Zach's like Mojo Rawley.
Oh, it's definitely Jinder Mahal.
No, I think this is a good, like you said, Jay's is over enough to where him facing Damian Priest for the title is more important than him possibly losing that match. So probably the right pick. I'm intrigued to see where it ends up going. I'm just curious to see Damian Priest as the world champion. It should be interesting.
Yeah, any thoughts, Zach?
I tell you what, that is a motley crew of individuals. I'm just going to give you the 10 just because I had to look it up. It's Cesaro, Big Show, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Matt Hardy,
Jesus,
Braun Strowman, Jey Uso, Madcap Moss, Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed.
Damn, Madcap Moss.
Yeah, I almost forgot about him.
That would be a great trivia question. Can you name the 10? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have gotten Matt Hardy.
I totally forgot about Matt Hardy. Totally forgot about him.
So I could build a Mount Rushmore out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a pebble Mount Rushmore.
All right. So there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. That's going to do it for our 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
This is going to be our longest odds and ends in the history of the show. So
the odds that never end.
So I think that we can mostly skip Collision. Commander Penta was fine. FTR Top Flight was pretty good. The Hook and Jericho thing just continues to. But anyway, I want to skip ahead. I want to skip ahead to Dynamite. There's, we've talked for a long time already. This podcast is already an hour and a half old. So I just want to skip to the stuff that's newsworthy from AEW Dynamite. Sorry, I just malfunctioned. I was like, wait, should we talk about that Okada is facing Pac and we're going to see the Dynasty? But we got plenty of time to talk about that. So the Young Bucks decide to share. They get PO'd. And I don't know if Jason and I did due diligence to the CM Punk conversation with Ariel Helwani last week. But somebody didn't like it at AEW. And they decide to show the footage from backstage of All In at Wembley last year in the summer of 2023 when Jungle Jack Perry did his famous "That's Real Glass. How you like them apples?"
Crimea River.
Punk confronts him. They show the footage, and I tell you what, my jaw dropped when I realized that they were actually showing the footage. I thought there was no way they were going to actually show the footage. I was thinking
we're getting ready to get spoofed. I was getting
And
pissed.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They really just showed it.
Yeah.
And holy shit. This is what this was all about? This was it? But basically,
I'm sure it's more than that.
Basically, it looked like exactly what Punk said happened, which is Jungle Jack Perry said do something about it, and CM Punk did something about it. CM Punk hits him, basically shoves him, looks like in the neck face area. It didn't look like he threw a punch. I guess you could call it a punch. So, Zach, first question is, what did you think about the footage?
It's hard to say with no sound.
Thank you.
It's as far as context and stuff.
Thank you.
Obviously, Punk was the aggressor in the situation because, no matter what, you expect Jack Perry to not be a smartass. Just look at him. He was the one that threw it first. I loved the reactions of everybody else. I loved that Mojo Joe was not happening and just ripped him apart. And there's like one guy just like rubbing his face and just like, Jesus Christ, oh my God, we're putting on the biggest wrestling show of all time, and CM Punk just fought somebody. Like it's so funny. But yeah, I mean, as far as the footage goes, like, yeah, like obviously not a cool thing to do. There's way more to it than all of that, I'm sure, because there was the whole thing with Tony. Where he confronted Tony and, basically said he quit and then went out and did his match. And,
I think we saw that in that video. I think that Tony is over to the right, and he's probably in some sort of bay that has a bunch of TVs. It doesn't make Punk look any better. It just doesn't. It really just, like, it's exactly what I don't know. I guess I expected more. It just seems.
It didn't do good for anybody. It doesn't make anybody look good.
It doesn't. It does not make anybody look good.
I couldn't agree more. I'm with you on this one, Bill. I'm assuming from the way you were looking, the camera view, their gorilla position is to the far right, so you really can't see Tony. But one of the big things was, like, I feared for my life. So Tony has to be really close to the physical shoving incident between Jack Perry and CM Punk. It's not like. It's nothing that I didn't expect to see. I'm glad that they at least showed it. Sound would have been good so we get context of what was going on. But ultimately, you said it before when it first happened, this was an opportunity for them to make some money, and they passed on it.
Well,
this was, to me, done just being Tom Petty because CM Punk ran down AEW, so now Tony Khan's like, here's my chance to run down CM Punk.
So what is more interesting to me as a question, as somebody who, one of wrestling's real thinkers, is why did AEW show this? I think that you could take the most cynical, or if you really want to look down at AEW's motives for this, it is just petty bullshit. It is Tony got his feelings hurt. Maybe the Young Bucks got their feelings hurt, and they thought that Punk was talking out of school, or that what Punk said wasn't accurate, and they saw a chance to pop some ratings. And ultimately, I have to think, I would love to hear an argument for somebody who says that it wasn't extremely short-sighted to show this. This just doesn't make any sense. Zach, what do you think?
Sorry, I lost you there for a second. I opened up my AirPods. What was the last thing you said?
How did I just ask this?
Do you think it's short-sighted for AEW to show this footage?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, very, especially on their TV show. Like, if you wanted to release it, like, there's no reason to, like, what, you're going to get, like, a little bit more viewers on your TV show, but really, like, the best thing you can do for your TV show is just put on a good TV show. And this is not good TV. But, if you want to show the footage, just show the footage. I don't think that was really a good idea either, but I can say that I imagine it's very difficult to be, Tony Khan or the Young Bucks or whatever, whenever people, like, literally, like, social media is so toxic and they just constantly shit on you, and you're just, like, just getting shit on, and sometimes you probably just want to, like, fight back and be like, hey, this is actually what happened, and, like, stand up for yourself. And Tony Khan comes off as a little defensive, a little thin-skinned in general. Like, people will ask him questions, like, hard questions on media calls and stuff, and not ones that he won't talk about for legal reasons, but they'll just be like, like, what do you say to the critics who say that the women's division in AEW could be better? Which is a pretty milquetoast question. And it'll be like, well, I'll tell you what, on March 22nd, 2002, we had one of the greatest AEW women's matches in all time. And it was 7 minutes and 34 seconds on August 17th. And it'll, like, go into, like, the whole thing. And it's like, yeah, but, like, no, we're talking about, like, he just gets really defensive. And anyway, that's kind of a tangent. But at the same time, no reason for them to put this on Dynamite. Really no reason to show it at all, but definitely not on Dynamite.
Jason.
Obviously, curiosity kills the cat, and I'm curious. I was curious, and most people were. I still think this was a move to try to clear their name. CM Punk was, the talk of the town, and now Tony Khan, wants to counter it. The problem is we're still talking about CM Punk. So to me, that was a mistake. In at least the reasoning behind it. To me, like I said, there's nothing that I would think that I saw that makes me look at anybody any worse. I said to me there was plenty of blame to go around. So in that scenario, you confirm that. His tweet being Tony Khan, his tweet, I guess it was today at some point, was, marveling about how, the numbers were up, yada, 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 all this stuff that, people that like that want to talk about with the ratings and shit. It wasn't about, redemption or telling the story or anything like that. His tweet was about ratings. And that's what it was ultimately. It's a two-part thing. One, ratings. Two, vindication.
Three things about this segment. Because I can't believe that they actually showed the footage. Three things. I think that, A, they thought that they could have their cake and eat it too. They thought that they could show the footage and then they could have FTR come out immediately after and say, why are we still talking about this? And I think that they thought that they were actually doing it to sell the match. There's a problem with that. There's a lot of people that watch that aren't completely plugged in to the internet and who don't read and talk about wrestling all the time. So what you're doing is, B, you're steering right into what CM Punk's biggest criticism about AEW was that they only appeal to that small sector of fans that live on the internet and want to talk about wrestling all the time. Like, there's a lot of people that have probably had no idea what they just tuned into wrestling because they like watching wrestling every once in a while. You are preaching to the diehards. You are not grabbing any new viewers with that. And they might have popped a little bit of a rating, but it's nothing. It's piss in a bucket. The third thing is, now, when the Young Bucks came out to make the save a little bit later, or came out to fight, the crowd was chanting CM Punk.
Right.
You put it right back in everybody's head, and now CM Punk is part of this story.
Yep.
Why the fuck would you do that, especially when WWE is coming off this massive weekend where they look as good as they possibly can?
The last thing you want to be doing is having your fans chanting a guy, the talent that is not on your
roster.
roster.
You put over WWE's guy. You put him over.
Yeah, Punk was still just sitting at home in Chicago. Sure, not nearly as bad. But, yeah, he's on the other brand. He was just at WrestleMania. Like, 3 million people watch WrestleMania.
And it just really makes you guys look, it just makes it look minor league. It makes it look really petty, and you're fucking poodles trying to fucking bite pit bulls, man. Like, it just, and they listen, they've had a good last couple months. They just got to start making a television show that's compelling. And as much as I like AEW matches, and I love AEW matches, they got to start having better stories. Like, as much as I want to tune in, because I am the type of freak, and you guys are the types of freaks that watch it all, and that will watch a 15-minute match between two guys that you just want to see what their styles look like next to each other. But to really grab ratings, you got to tell stories. You got to have better stories. And they used to be really good at it.
I think, at least for me, a part of the problem is that some of the big signings that have been signed, you just don't see a lot of, and it feels like they're on the roster, but they're not on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Okada's, you see him every now and then. Mercedes' first match won't be until Double or Nothing. Ospreay's the one.
Brian Keith fights 3 times a week.
I mean, and that's, to me, is crazy talk. When we get this kind of a roster, I want to see, Mercedes wrestle more. Maybe she's still hurt. Then say that versus, having her come out for commentary and backstage and all this other nonsense.
You know what was worse than the Young Bucks shit, though? Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay coming out there and cutting a promo on Triple H. What are you doing, man? What are they doing? Making jokes about him grinding the boss's daughter? Dude, it's 2024. The guy has proven that he's good at his job. You can't call Triple H a Nepo baby anymore. The fuck is he talking about? That seems so pet. Like Triple H is on top of the wrestling world. And you're standing in a fucking arena with 1,500 people around you?
We don't know that. We don't know that.
And that's the promo you're cutting? Just go out there and sell the fucking match with Danielson.
With the Ospreay thing, I imagine there's probably, I would assume, and I have no idea, but I would assume that they didn't offer him that much at WWE, and he probably felt there's an idea that you haven't made it in wrestling until you make it in WWE, and that they'll just lowball you because they think that you want to come to like the big stage, and like Will Ospreay is legitimately the best wrestler in the world. He's the best wrestler of our generation. It's almost without question, and they probably offered him way less than Tony Khan did. So, I mean, there's probably some negative feelings there for that, too, where, like, if I was Ospreay, I wouldn't want to grind. Like, you want me doing house shows? Like, dude, I'm the best wrestler in the fucking world. Of course I'm going to come in for big shows only.
Yes.
You know? And Ospreay's not even that guy. He's out there. Dude, that guy, like, he's putting his life on the line to wrestle Michael Oku in front of 1,200 people.
Yes.
He gives it his all the time. Anyway, I wasn't too put out by the Ospreay stuff because that's just kind of small potatoes. I can see why. I also agree. You just don't need to mention them. Just do your thing and do it well.
Yeah, it's not what I want for him, I guess is what I'm saying. Because, like, I'm such a fan, and WWE, yes, you're the best wrestler in the world. Guess what? WWE doesn't need you. You know, so lowballing you probably makes sense. They're going to come back and get you in 2.5, 3 years anyway. They're just going to let you cook over in AEW for a while. He's going to be in WWE someday.
I don't know. You saying some shit like this.
Nah, he's going to be in WWE someday. But the other thing is, it's like Triple H said this to get under his skin. Pat McAfee could have asked him that question, and he could have been much more diplomatic about it.
I think he was. He didn't say anybody's names.
Yeah, but if you say he's afraid of the grind, Triple H knows what he's doing. This is not even a knock on Triple H. I fucking love it. He was communicating to Will Ospreay directly, trying to get under his skin, and Will Ospreay goes out on Dynamite and cuts a promo on him. Triple H won, Ospreay 0.
I feel like he was not even like really doing. I don't think he was playing 3D chess or 4D chess or anything. I just think Triple H is kind of a boomer when it comes to wrestling industry because he came up during that time where, you know, if you don't do this, if you don't pay your dues the same way I did, it just doesn't count. I mean, Triple H is great at what he does, and he's a legend and all that, but I do think he's got some kind of archaic.
Do I need to remind you that he is the cerebral assassin?
I guess cerebral does beat Ariel in this sense.
Yeah, right. They're well played. I'll just say this. For me, I'm not mad at Will Ospreay. I get it, but I don't think we can clearly say it was just about Will Ospreay. You could say it could have been Okada. It could have been Ospreay. It could have been Mercedes. It could have been anybody that they wanted to chase in this last little minute of time where, for whatever reason, they picked AEW over WWE. If Will Ospreay felt a certain kind of way about it, okay, fair enough. But it just it's the wrong time to be making these comments because it looks like Tony's being petty about what CM Punk has said, and now you got Will Ospreay looking the same way, looking a little petty.
It was the next segment also. It was like a full 25, 30 minutes of them just talking about WWE.
Was it the next segment?
Damn. Professional wrestling just fucking rules. I mean, that makes no sense at all. Like, how would you even explain that to somebody?
Yeah, it was the next segment. So,
but, I mean, it's just really. I was disappointed in it. How about that?
Okay, completely fair. I just like I said, for me, I get it. You feel like you need to be vindicated, but it just didn't. It was not a good look, and it ultimately it backfires.
Stuff, even Ospreay stuff, all of it could have just been off TV. It could have been in another interview, just like the Punk stuff was. Just go on Busted Open or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
Say your piece.
All right, I need to warn the audience right now. the low battery has come on Jason's computer. We don't have the charger. So that is basically our AEW and our WWE talk. This is still the odds and ends, but we can talk. We can finish up. Man from ringside. But if it gets cut off, and I don't get to do the outro, you know who to blame. That's what people tune in for, Jason. They tune in for the outro.
Great. I'm the bad guy.
All right. So let's talk about NXT Stand Deliver and Supercard of Honor, Ring of Honor. So
Didn't
Jason,
watch that, so you can count me out on that one.
You didn't watch any of it?
No.
Did you watch Suji versus?
Yeah.
You watched Suji versus
Naito.
Zach, did you get a chance to watch that match?
I watched Supercard, but I didn't watch Supercard Genesis. I watched Stand and Deliver, Supercard, Bloodsport, 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Damn.
Bloodsport was
Good for
good.
you. Hey, that's professional bullshit.
Bloodsport was good. I did like that too.
Well, Suji and Naito is worth watching. My quick recap of it never seemed like Suji was going to win. It was a pretty good match. It was okay.
Good, not great. Suji's going to be that guy here in a few years or so. Just like I said on Sunday, this is a resume builder for Yo Suji. I'm all for it, but you just can't take Naito and Moxley off the table for the title coming up tomorrow night.
Zach, what stood out to you from Supercard of Honor?
Really, I feel like the curtain jerker just jerked me so hard. It was so good. Nothing really got to that level.
I'm a Fletcher Mark.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Mark Briscoe winning was great, but I feel like the pre-video package and the post-match was almost better than the match itself. The match was good, but Mark Briscoe, finally getting his, the title and being that guy, Eddie raising his hand, all that, that was real good. But the first match was the best thing on the show.
Jason.
It would sound like it would be a good thing. Like I said, I didn't see it. I'd rather watch New Japan versus ROH at this point.
You didn't watch Supercard of Honor at all?
Not at all. To me, when Sheeta is getting thrown to Athena, that's all I really need to see. I didn't think Eddie was going to beat Mark Briscoe.
No, that seemed pretty obvious, but I concur with Zach. You should go out of your way to watch Fletcher versus Lee Johnson. It was fucking awesome.
It's everything that every veteran will say shouldn't happen in the opening match because
now you got to top that shit.
Yeah.
No, it's two guys that I honestly like.
Jim Cornette was steaming.
I'm sure he was. No, it's two guys I like to begin with. So I mean, that's an easy look. But for me, ROH is kind of taking a step back, and that's just not a good thing in this scenario. I want to watch it. I don't feel compelled to.
Okay, then what stood out to you from Stand and Deliver?
Whoop that Trick. Trick Williams going over, being the main event when it was not even for the title. I thought that's just the sign that Trick Williams is the next rising star of NXT.
Zach, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, my little battery life's going on too.
Oh my God, we are really running out of steam here. I want to give a special shout out to Dijak, Obafemi, and Josh Briggs. That match was a really good big man match with a couple really cool spots. Obafemi is a beast.
Josh Briggs got hurt in that match, so get well.
2 broken ribs.
Yeah, I'll say casualty award, but yeah, Obafemi is the next Braun Breaker. They just need to just cultivate him.
Oh, he's got world champion written all over.
Yeah,
him.
He's going to be that next dude.
He's a natural.
Yeah, I can't wait to just watch him just develop in NXT.
That match was stand and over deliver.
There was that one spot where Obafemi had them both on his shoulders. And it's like, those are 2 big dudes to be carrying to the middle
I'm just
of the
like,
ring,
this is
man.
ridiculous. This
those
motherfucker's
are 2
no
big
joke.
dudes to be carrying to the middle of the ring.
I popped real hard at that.
Saw Juliet on Stand and Deliver. That's the second biggest thing, and then the women's mid-card title being the third thing.
I don't know what's crazier than me, that Sean Spears didn't go over Joe Gacy or that Jason fucking picked it. What the fuck?
There's that alcohol talking again.
I will say that the standings at the end of the week. Oh, shoot. I forgot. We have fucking Windy City Riot coming up this weekend.
Tomorrow night.
goddamn! So you're going to Chicago tomorrow?
I'll be leaving probably sometime in the morning.
Well, what else do you want to talk about with Stand Deliver? Then I want to talk about When They See It Right. God damn it, we were supposed to do predictions for that. I completely forgot.
Really, we talked about the stuff where I wanted to talk about. Roxanne got the title back. Dragunov retains. Both are okay. I didn't think that Dragunov was going to lose, and Roxanne, it was a bit of surprise and a tap-out victory, but makes sense.
Yeah, it was a nice little appetizer for WrestleMania that
For
night.
sure.
It was fun to have on in the morning and in the early afternoon. So the standings are, Jason and I are tied with 60, and Zach had a rough weekend. Zach's at 56 now.
Oh, damn, weren't you winning?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to start finding somebody in the Portland area to chop Zach.
Stop.
What is Portland's local wrestling scene?
Defy? No, it's that Seattle. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So when you see right, you're going.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
It's Friday night.
Yeah.
Are they going to play it on New Japan?
I don't think it's going to be live on New Japan. I think you can watch it like the day after or Sunday.
Oh, right.
I think it's going to be they'll show it in Japan first, and then you have to watch here. I think it'll be on Fight. So if you really truly want to pay for it.
What are the chances that Moxley walks out as New Japan World Heavyweight Champion?
Jeez, goddamn. It's a coin flip, man. I wouldn't be totally surprised. I would be a little disappointed because that would be now the third New Japan contracted star that has a major title, but it's Jon Moxley. So I can't really get mad because it's Jon Moxley, but I would be really surprised. Well, I shouldn't say really surprised. 50-50.
Zach, what kind of percentage would you give it?
40%.
Yeah, I'm about right there. I think it's a little less than that. I'll say 33%. I'll say there's a third chance.
That's completely fair. I mean, I would be really surprised if that's the title they want to have somebody that's outside of the company.
Who is Ziggler fighting? Ishii?
Yeah, I think that's for the Global Heavyweight Championship. Don't quote me on that, but
that could be fun.
It's going to be one that's that dichotomy of styles. Ishii's not going anywhere, and Dolph can go with anybody. So that should be interesting.
I just want Ziggler to try a zigzag on Ishii, and he just stays there.
Right there, doesn't move. I'm expecting that.
Mustafa Ali versus
Hiromu. Yeah, that was the next match. That's the match I really am looking forward to because it's a match I never thought I would see, and now we're getting ready to plop it in my lap.
I have
Mustafa Ali versus who?
Hiromu.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm
gonna be a good card.
Yeah, that match.
Riddle ZSJ.
Yeah, Riddle CSJ also. What else are you looking? What are you looking forward to the most, Jason?
Shit, outside of seeing my boy in the main event, I think Azumi's coming in. Stephanie Vakiri will be in town. She's going to defend the women's strong title. This is a loaded fucking card. I think it's Eddie Kingston and a mystery team versus Gabe Kidd and a mystery team.
ELP and Hikuleu versus TMDK versus Fred Rosser and Tom Lawler versus the West Coast Wrecking Crew in a Four Corners tag team match for the Strong Open Weight Tag Team Championship.
I'll take the chance just to retain. What the fuck?
I'd love to see TMDK get it.
They should be getting it, but, that's another story for another time. We got Bishman winning the IWGP titles.
Minoru versus Ren Narita.
I really want Ren Narita to win.
And Shota Umino versus Jungle Jack Perry.
This should be Shota getting his receipt back.
Jack Perry's going to come out the cult of personality.
Stop! If he did that, I'll be clouded. I'll have to run up and give him a high five from wherever we're sitting at.
It's clobbering time.
Yeah, right. Whatever. I'll say he's a scapegoat. Damn it.
Man from Ringside. Hey everybody, we got some birthdays this week. Harley Race, R.I.P. would have been 81. Dustin Rhodes is 55. That's another thing they could have done. If you're going to have Dustin Rhodes fight Samoa Joe, if you're going to bring up WWE the entire fucking show, then you might as well say Dustin Rhodes wants that championship so he and his brother can hold the two biggest championships in wrestling. If you're going to talk about WWE.
Or at least make it for the title.
Yeah.
At that point, if you're gonna go, just go ahead and lean into it. It was this whole week for AEW was just poor timing across the board.
I'll say this: Dustin Rhodes is 55 years old, looks and wrestles fucking great. He is natural. Hey, Dustin, you ain't gotta bleed so much, dude. Like, tone it back, man.
Stop! He ain't boxing. Leave him alone.
God damn, he bleeds a lot. I mean, but when he bleeds a lot. Lita is 49. Brian Adams, all right,
Canadian.
60. Austin Aries is 46 on the side of a milk carton. George Animal Steel would have been 87. Vicky Guerrero, hope she's doing well, is 56.
Austin Aries on the side of a soy milk carton.
Paul London, 44. Mia Yim is 35. And Roddy Piper, R.I.P., would have been 70. I watched They Live recently.
Good movie.
Yeah.
So good.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
For Vice.
Check.
For my beautiful family.
Check.
Inside. For Tender Mahal.
Check.
For Lucha Chris.
Check.
For Murray the Murrayman Murray. For
Check.
Patriot Pat. For
Check.
Brett Jager.
Check.
For, did I say Vice?
Yes. Check.
For Three Beards, Zach Paulman. For Jason Cornelius Bell.
Can eat you out, bitches.
Bill Bakey.
Check.
Black Lives Matter.
Check.
Support your local wheat dealers.
Double check.
Support your local restaurants.
Triple check.
Give your parents a call.
Quadruple
and
check.
Never forget to boo the heels.
Boo!